Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the Mommy and Me experience. I'm super excited to bring you guys this first interview. I'm super excited about this. I know they're excited. Look at those beautiful smiles. They look absolutely amazing. But the Mommy and Me experience platform is a great platform where I help moms to build a better relationship with their daughters through a community that provides tips, strategies, and guess what? Hands-on building. And this is one of the ways that I'm actually doing the hands-on building, because this platform is an amazing platform that we're going to get the word out there. We're going to build these holistic, healthy, holistic, healthy relationships and healed. Don't leave that part out. Relationships in 2023. So I have the pleasure of introducing these amazing women, dynamic duos, Miss Jackie Pippins and Miss Jayla Pippins. Yay! Super excited. So I would love for you ladies to introduce yourselves and just tell the audience just who you are, what it is that you do, and how excited you are about doing this interview.
Wow. Well, Ms. Viola, first and foremost, thank you so much for having us on your platform. We feel more than honored. I am Jackie Pippins, and I am a full-time entrepreneur. I'm changing lives with our business all around the world. So that is what I do and absolutely love it.
Yes, and I'm Jayla Pippins, her daughter, if y'all didn't get that yet. We're super excited about this interview, both of us. We're super proud of Viola for doing something like this as well. I think it's very much needed in the community. We're both full-time entrepreneurs. We work together. We do lots of things together, but we really want to work with people that love playing big, want to work less, and they want to travel more. So that's what we do together.
And I get them upside the head together.
Out of the recording.
Yes, look, that's a part of the mother-daughter duo, right? Sometimes you just kind of want to grab them around the necks, and do some things, but that's just a part of it. That is a part of it. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into this because we have some amazing questions for you, amazing ladies. And it may get a little bit deep. So don't be afraid to, really share what you feel like you want to share with these questions, because like I said, this is a community to be able to help women. Okay. We are building up this community so that, these women can be holistic, they can be healed and healthy, for further generations to come. Okay. So Miss Jackie, okay, I have a question for you that I would love for you to share with the audience. So I know just a little bit about you and your background, and I know that you didn't really grow up with a mother. So with that being said, how was it building a relationship with your daughter when you did not have your mother growing up?
Wow, Miss Viola, that's a great question. Well, the relationship with my daughter, it actually was great because I always wanted a little girl. So when she was my second child, I have a son. So she was my second child. So when I had her, I felt like I had my doll all back over again. Remember the dolls that we used to play with when we were children? So I felt like I had my doll all back over again. So that was just really, really amazing. And, as she was growing up, there was some rocky times, of course. There was rocky times because, kids are going to be kids, right? Not having a mom, not having that nurturing was a little different because I'm not used to, the hugs and all of those things because I didn't get those. I didn't understand what it meant to, be right there with your mom, teaching your kids how to do certain things, ladies things, because I didn't have that. I was raised by my father. And so I was shown things, by my father, and I just learned things as I got older, and I learned different things from my older sisters, right? And so when I had my child, all I could do was, love her, of course, and that's what I did. So even though I didn't have that mom, that nurturing, but I was able to love my child, my only girl.
I love that. And that's a lot of things that women struggle with, right? Who may didn't grow up with their mother, or maybe they were adopted and they kind of struggle with that relationship. So growing up, did you feel like you resented your mother?
That is really, really a good question because when I was in school, when I went to grade school, elementary, and the kids used to always say, "Oh, I'm going home to do with this with my mom this, my mom that, my mom combed my hair, my mom did all of this." And I felt a little envy because I didn't have those things. And then I always had kids asking me, "Why don't you ever talk about your mom?" Right? I couldn't talk about her because I really didn't know her, right? I didn't really know her until I got a little older and, understood things, life, sometimes challenges happen in life, and it's how you deal with those challenges, right? So I did feel a little left out. I went to school with my hair uncombed because I didn't have the mother, to comb my hair. So I remember when I was in the fourth grade, I had extremely long hair, right? But it was just all caked up to my head because it wasn't combed. And I remember my dad's sister told my dad I needed to get my hair cut off because it's not combed. And they cut all my hair off. I'll never forget that. I will never forget that as long as I live because I didn't know how to manage it. I did not know how to manage it. So I made sure that my child wouldn't go through those type of things because I know how I felt as a child. So I had to make sure that my child wouldn't go through things like that.
Wow, that right there is very touching, and it's something that you will never forget, like you said, because now you're an adult and you still, feel those things. So did you find it to be easier or harder whenever you had your daughter in order to really build that bond with her, a bond that you didn't get to have growing up?
Well, no, because I had my husband as well. When I had my daughter, I had my husband. So we were both just loving on her. So we really didn't have that challenge. We just didn't have those challenges. Sometimes tragedies that happens hinders you, and sometimes it helps you, right? Because you want to make sure that you don't go through those same channels as well. So I had to make sure that she didn't get what I got because I knew how it felt, right? So I had to make sure that she get those type of things. I always said when I have my own kids, I'm not gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that. Everybody have said that. I'm gonna be a different parent, right? But when you get older, you find out, well, you start doing things like your parents did, like my dad. I find my things doing some of the things that he's done. I do them right now to this day. But yeah,
I
so it
love
was a challenge, but we worked through all those challenges.
that is absolutely amazing. Okay, so now Miss Jayla's turn. Miss Jayla. Okay, so I would love to know your experience. How did you feel with you and your mother's relationship growing up? I know at a younger age, you didn't really know that your grandmother wasn't there, she wasn't in the picture. So, how did you feel like your relationship with your mother was from your perspective?
Yeah, actually, I knew my grandma wasn't there because I didn't know her. I knew my dad's mom, but I didn't know my mom's mom. And I think I met her one time when we went to California. I think I met her one time, and then after that, she had passed away when I was about, I think it was like 9. Yes, I think I was like 9 years old when she passed away. I was something around there. I don't remember. But I know she wasn't there because she wasn't present in my life either. But the relationship was, I feel like a little strange. Is that the word? Estranged? Yeah. Was a little estranged because other parents were different than my mom. Like other mothers they would treat their child a little different. Like I feel like my mom had the experience of, you just figure it out, right? You just go along, you're just gonna figure it out. Periods, you're just gonna figure it out. Cooking, you're just gonna figure it out. because that's what she had, right? She just had to figure it out. So a lot of my friends' moms were very, very hands-on. Like when I say very hands-on, I mean more like there were just more, how can I say, like more of their friend. I guess I can say now. Back then I felt like it was hands-on, but now I'm seeing the relationship and it was like, wow, like you guys were friends back then. Like they could tell their mom about like boys and all this kind of stuff that there is no way I would never, ever, ever go to my mom about something like that. So I know now when I'm older, I can see and appreciate why she was like that and not my friend, because during those times you don't need a friend and your mom is your mom. She doesn't need to be your friend. But as you grow up and as you get into more of who you are, your career, who you want to be, then that's when you can have those type of conversations with her, and you can have a different type of relationship with her. But for some reason, I don't know why, when I was younger, I resented it for some reason, and I blamed my grandma, like it was your fault because you weren't here and she didn't have it. But it was like, now that I'm older, I 100% appreciate that, the way that I was raised, because I I know how, just figure it out. Like you go out here and you just get it. But these other women that I used to be friends with, they're still friends with their mom. And they actually have a worse relationship now than they did then.
Wow, wow. I'm glad you said
Mhm.
that because we see a lot of that, especially right now in the society with younger parents. They have children, bringing their children up, being their friend, being buddy buddy with them. It's okay to have that open dialogue to where, hey, listen, I want you to trust me. I want you to believe in me. We can have this open dialogue. So would you say that that shaped and brought you and your mom more and more together because valued how she treated you and how she brought you up so that you can now value what you have right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say yes and no, because I had to get to a different type of understanding in order to understand it. At the time, I didn't understand. Like you just don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
You just didn't understand. So at that time, I was very resentful. I was very like, life's not fair, and this isn't fair, and the way that she treats me isn't fair. Like, I mean, I remember having conversations with my dad, and because my dad is very like emotional, very involved, like he is that type of person. Um, so I would go to him like, I don't why isn't my mom like this? And he would have to explain to me like, it's okay that we're not the same type of person, and it's okay that she's not like other mom, like that's okay. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It took me a while to really understand that. So yes,
So
I
what brought you over that? Like, how did you overcome those things that you were challenged with? Because it is hard seeing a mom, loving on their child, being their friends, going, kicking it, hanging out, doing all of those things. So for your mom not to be able to do that, how did you overcome and understand her place in her situation just based off of how she grew up without a mom?
success.
Okay. Share a little
Yeah.
bit more about that.
Success. Because most people, what I'm doing right now, the level that I'm doing it at, the money that I've been able to make, most people haven't even got here yet. Most people, they never get here in their lives, or they don't get here to their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, whatever the case is. And so, me being able to have success at a very early age is what made me appreciate the way that I was brought up. And it made me appreciate the journey that I went through with my mom. I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for my mom. So that's why I'm saying most women in my age, they love their mom when we're younger, because there's no, honestly, there's no real life happening yet. The the realest thing that's happening is homework's got to be due, you got to do a test, but you may work a job, but you don't have to pay bills, you don't have. And I'm not talking about the people that are just really out here struggling that may have to help their parents out with bills, because that is a reality. But I'm just talking about just the average person. They don't have to help their parents out with bills at that age, at that young age. So nothing real is really happening yet. College, they're all excited about college and all of this. So their mom can be their friend at that point. But now when they get older, they're not happy, not really doing the career I want, not really living the life I want. Some cash apps, I want some money, I want a new car, I want this and that, and their parents can't provide that. Honestly, we probably will never say it, but as children, sometimes we resent that. So success.
Sorry, Denise.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Baby.
Look, we almost made it. We almost
Yeah.
made it through. Okay. So Miss Jackie, I'm gonna ask you this question right quick. Okay. Did you ever get a chance to meet your mother, and did you ever get a chance to reconcile y'all's relationship before she passed on?
Okay, that's another great question. So, of course, yes, I met my mom. I believe, I think when my mom originally left I was probably 4. I don't even remember. I don't even remember her in the household. I just honest, I guess I was just so young at the time. But yes, I did get to meet her. She was living in the same city I was. She would come over and visit sometime. I could remember that. I'll never forget one time my dad would be at work and we were outside just playing with other kids. We were just outside racing, being kids. And she came and told us we didn't have no business being outside, and she gave us a whooping. And for the life of me, I was like, "You're not my mom. Why would you whoop me?" I was so mad. She gave us that whooping. I was so mad because I felt like she wasn't there. I didn't feel like she was qualified to whoop me. I just didn't at that time. But she did give us a whooping for that. And I think that's probably about the last time I saw her. She moved away. She moved away to a city. We had absolutely no idea. We lost contact for like 10 years or so. And then I got a letter. We got this letter that we was like, oh my gosh, she is alive. We didn't know if she was dead or alive. We honestly didn't know because we never heard from her. And so she sent us a letter. So she was in Detroit and gone on with her life basically or whatever. And then she moved to California. I end up going to see her, visit her in California. We really never had the mother-daughter relationship like normal people would, but it is what it is, right? So before she passed away, I did get to go see her on her sick bed. I got to see her before she passed away. We talked and those type of things, but then she passed on.
So did you ever get a chance to just kind of tell her how you felt?
I did not. I did not. I did not.
Was
At
that like
one
just a personal
time,
choice of yours?
well, at one time, I tried to forgive her. I tried to forgive her. And what I did was I had everybody in the family, all of her children, send her money every month. And I think that lasted about 2 months. And then all of a sudden it stopped and I didn't push it. But I always tried to develop a relationship, but it just really never developed like it should have. I wish
She
it
didn't
would
have that
have.
success. No,
Right.
just kidding.
Now, I really wish it would have. I really wish she really wasn't a bad person. She just made some bad choices, right? She just made some bad choices. That's all. But
Did she ever like have a chance to even say why she left, or she just kind of was like, whatever, I'm done?
well, here's the real deal. And I learned as I got older. First of all, her mom died when she was 9 years old. So she never had a mom, right? I didn't understand that till later on. So she never had a mom. She ended up staying with her aunt, and her aunt passed away. So she didn't end up staying with some older brothers, right? So she met my dad when she was 16 or 17. And so she needed an outlet. She got married to him. That's at an early age. And my dad was a very military man. He was in the military. So he was a strict person, and she married him. They moved to Little Rock, Arkansas. They met in Texas and she moved to Little Rock, Arkansas. And he was just strict person. You're not doing this, you're not doing that, da da da. She felt trapped. Her life was just crazy all the way through, and she just felt trapped. And so she wanted to really experience life. So she started experiencing life. And that's how they end up separating, right? He said, you can go, you can do whatever you want to, but you're not taking the kids. The reason why he didn't let her take the kids, because he knew she wasn't gonna be responsible enough, or she couldn't afford them. So he kept us all.
Wow. Wow. Shout outs to your dad, okay? Because your dad was a soldier, literally, or was he a soldier?
Right, he was, yeah.
So I
Soldier
think
all
that's
around.
amazing for him to step up and do that. So not only okay, so kind of explain, how many siblings you had.
It was 9 siblings, right? It was 9 of us. So she left all 9 of us with him. We had one that was real sick, and
Mm.
she had cancer. She was blind. She was blind in both eyes. She was born blind in one eye. She later became blind in both eyes. And then she developed cancer. So when she was 9 years old, she passed away. But before she passed away, she had to go away to school Monday through Friday, and she would come home on weekends. She had to go to the blind school, learn how to get around and kind of some read braille and all that stuff. I remember that. But she got sick with cancer and she ended up dying. And so he had to deal with all of that. He had to deal with all of it. And so she passed away. I think my mom did come home for the funeral. And she did come home for the funeral and she disappeared again. But yeah, that's how that went down. So he raised all of us. 4 girls, 4 boys. Actually 5 girls and 4 boys. And one of the girls passed away.
Mhm.
Wow, that is tough right there, man. Shout outs. That's a tough soldier right there. So, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Miss Jackie. That was absolutely amazing. Just for you to be able to share that with other women, who may have been in that same situation, but maybe they're not taking it like you are taking it. Maybe, they need a little bit more guidance. Maybe they need counseling. Did you ever get any counseling or anything like that to, kind of help you along the way?
You know what? I sure did not. You know what? Maybe I should have gotten canceled. I don't know. Maybe we all should have, got canceled, but we didn't get any counseling. And number one, my dad, it was 9 children. He worked one job, he couldn't afford to put us in counseling like that. He did the best he could, which I think he did a great job. He just did the best he could. And I've learned that what I've learned in life through those different challenges, that challenges are going to come, and it's gonna always be how you handle them. Life is about how you handle it. It's only 10% of what happens. The 90% is how you handle it. And so that's why when challenges come, people think, oh my God, do you have any feelings? No, it's just that, you learn to deal with the challenges. It's just nothing, some things is nothing you could do about it. It's nothing that I could have done through what happened in my life. What I need to do, or what people need to do, is just learn how to deal with the hand you get, right? You got to learn how to shuffle those cards, because it's happening. It's nothing. I could sit there and get a pity party, cry about it. I could do all of that. But what good is it going to do? You got your challenges over here and you got what to do over here, right? So instead of spending time over here with the challenges, figure out what to do with those challenges.
That is absolutely right. And most people don't do that. They have a pity party, like you said, So I'm glad that you shared that, because I was actually going to ask you, what type of advice would you give moms who have been through that situation? And you just hit the hammer on the nail. So thank you for sharing that. So Miss Jayla, okay. Your next question is, what would you tell young gems out there who may have experienced some of the things that you experienced growing up because you didn't quite understand? What type of advice would you give them?
That's a really great question. The type of advice that I would give someone that would be in my position is to appreciate your mom, number one, because you really don't know how long they may or may not be here. So appreciate your mother, love your mother, love your parents, appreciate them for who they are. Don't try to make them be somebody else. Don't try to make them be somebody else's mom, because I'm telling you, the mothers that I used to go to my mom and say, I wish you were more like Miss whatever. And then now growing up, I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I don't want you to be like her. I take it all back. So don't try to make them be somebody else that they're not. They are who they are, and you just have to love them for who they are. And sometimes, I fortunately for me, I had a very great example of the type of woman that I wanted to be. So if you don't have that type of example, you just have to learn how to be that example. And there's plenty of stories, there's plenty of women out here that didn't have the strongest role model, for an example, right here, that did it anyway. So sometimes we don't need that example to be a great example. Get what I'm saying? So right. So
That's
don't let that be an excuse for you to say, okay, well, because I didn't have that example, I'm not going to be a great person. No, you still we wake up with a chance and a choice every single day. We have a chance to win. We got a choice to go out here and win. We all have the same exact chances. We just all don't make the same exact choices. So again, like I said, I had a great example, but if you're somebody that maybe doesn't have the best example, then be that example for her. If you have that, if you have an example and you're resenting her right now and you're saying to yourself, man, I wish my mom would be more of my friend. I wish I can go to my mom about certain things. You will be able to eventually, but just love her for who she is right now and learn from her and just appreciate it.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that. Everything you just said, I love it. All right. So here is the last question. And this is a bonus question. Okay. I want you guys individually, of course, tell me something that maybe neither one of you guys know about each other.
Oh, that's a good question. You go first.
Hopefully this don't get neither one of y'all in trouble.
Oh, tell her something she doesn't know about me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell us something that nobody knows about you.
She knows pretty much everything.
No.
I pretty much tell her everything.
Think though. I want to know.
I know you do. The only time she is not with me or know things about it's like when I go out with my friends, like because she became friends with all of my friends. So so she don't know me when I go out with my friends and I have a great time with my friends. We, sip on our little adult juice and we just have a little good time dancing and just having fun. She hadn't seen that side of me.
I've seen you.
Really? You're not with me. I act totally different when you're not with me.
No, Mom, we done been
Uh-oh.
together. We have been I was at your birthday party in the club. You was dancing. We did all that. That's nothing.
The key word is without you, though. She turns up without you.
That's what she's not hearing, Viola.
Okay. I'll do something good for the both of us. Let me think. Something that she doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I told you that I took my dad's car one time when I didn't have a license.
Mm-mm.
I didn't tell you about that? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I took me and my friend, we took my dad's car and we went to go pick up my friend. It was a girl. We went to go pick up my other friend because she didn't have a ride to where we were. So we took my dad's car and we came back home. And this we actually did this twice. Took my dad's car, came back home, and the last time that we did it, we were sitting out there on the side, like parking the car, like trying to get it all right. Like, okay, how did he have a part? We said, okay, how was his seat? So we were trying to get it all right. And my mom happens to pull up in the driveway as we're sitting in the car. So we put the seats back, hoping that she wouldn't see us. And she came right up to the car and was like, "What are y'all doing?" And we laughed it off. And we're like, "Oh, we're just sitting here listening to music. We had nothing else to do. So we just came, sat in the car." She's like, "Okay, well, y'all need to come back in." We're like, "Okay." And so we were like, "Whoop." So that was like the last time because we thought that that was too close to call. So yeah, we took.
Wow. Yeah. So kids, we do not recommend y'all do that out there. Okay. If y'all are listening and watching, do not do that to your parents.
Right.
Okay. Oh, well, I just appreciate you, amazing Gems, for answering my bonus question and answering all of the other questions. I know this can be a very touchy topic. And so, with this being very touchy, okay, I want you, Miss Jackie, to kind of shine some light on this discussion. Why do you feel like it's so touchy for women to talk about not having a great relationship with their mother?
What do I think is important to talk about it? Is that what you're
Yes.
asking?
Yes.
Well, it's always important to talk out because you never know who you may help. There's someone out there that wants to have a relationship with their mom, and for whatever reason they cannot. And it's okay if you cannot. You just again learn to deal with those challenges if that's not the case. I know there are some moms that's out there that's on drugs that don't have relationships, with their parents. There's some mothers that gave up their child, for adoption. There's some folks out there looking for their moms. But it's always okay to just talk about it. Get with someone and talk about it with someone else that's went through it. I'll be glad to talk about it. They can get through you and you can get through me. They got questions of, how to handle those different challenges because it could be a challenge. This could have went a totally different way. I could have got on drugs. I could have blamed the world for what has happened to me. But I chose to take the safer route. It's always good to take the safer route if you can, but sometimes we're just not strong enough to take the safety route. And so you should talk to someone that's been through it. Seek counseling, like you said, seek counsel or, talk to somebody that's been through what you're going through and help you with those different challenges that's going to come up in your life.
That's good.
Oh, sorry. That is good. Yes, that is really, really good. And I'm so grateful and thankful that you ladies took out some time to do this amazing interview with me. You ladies hit the hammer on the nail. Some great, great, suggestions on what mothers can do, to build this healthy relationship, with their daughters and as well as with their mothers, because this is something that is really, really needed, especially in our culture. We don't have, a lot of us don't have great relationships with our mothers. Now, I have a great relationship with my mom. You ladies do, but there are just a lot of women out there who don't, and they're really, really struggling with this. So I think everything that you just said really, really shines the light on what women can do. And, like you said, you have to, you're going to go through challenges, right? So either your challenges are going to hinder you or your challenges are going to help you. And let your challenges help you and propel you in the direction that you want to go in, So like you said, Jayla, you have a chance and a choice. So I love that, you have a chance, and you have a choice. Every day that you wake up, ladies, every single day that you wake up, you have your chance right there because God woke you up. And now you have to choose to live life the way that you want to live it, not the way that your environment gave you or how you were raised, how you were brought up. So thank you, ladies, once again for doing this amazing interview on the Mommy and Me experience. I'm super excited. So ladies, okay, hear me out. If you want to join our amazing community, I'm going to have the link in the descriptions of this video. So make sure you guys make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, and make sure you guys share it with a woman, share it with a daughter who needs to hear this information. There were some great gems that were dropped on this interview. So make sure you listen to this again and share the love with everybody. So my name is Viola Hall. Thank you, ladies, Miss Jackie and Miss Jayla, for doing this interview with me. Talk to you guys on the next video. Love you guys. Bye for now.
Thank you.